Tip Tuesday, and I wasn't sure what to do for Speaking Tip Tuesday because I'm never sure what to do on any given day. But I asked my wife, what speaking tip should I talk about tomorrow morning? What would you want to know about the most if you were going to be listening to a speaking tip of any kind? Now, my wife isn't some newbie speaker. My wife has actually gone out and given keynotes. She's been flown out across the country and given keynotes on neurofibromatosis, which is the genetic disorder that affects her and three of our kids, as well as some of her family. So she knows what it's like to go out and speak, but she still wanted me to talk about nervousness, nerves, because she still gets nervous when she goes out and speaks. Well, guess what? So do I. I still get nervous when I go out and speak. Now, it's nervousness to a different degree, and depending on where I'm speaking, when I'm speaking, why I'm speaking, nervousness is at a different level. So let's talk about basic nerve management. And the first thing to do when you're putting together a presentation is obviously be prepared. And if you're not prepared, you're going to be really, really nervous because nerves tend to be based in self doubt and in the feeling that we're going to make a fool of ourselves. And if we aren't prepared, well, that's much more likely. So be prepared. Then it's a matter of perspective. Your audience is rooting for you, which isn't something we're really brought up to think. Usually, we're thinking that people are looking at us, waiting for us to fail, thinking that they are better than we are. Now, that is true to some degree. There are people like that. You're just going to have to deal with that. But in general, an audience wants you to be a good speaker. They don't want to watch you fail because that just brings up their own insecurities as well. So know that people out there listening to you are rooting for you. And then both of those kind of come into this third one, which is most important. And that is nerves tend to surface the most when we are more worried about ourselves than we are about the audience. We're more worried about what we're going to get out of the presentation than what we are going to give in the presentation. And what we might get out of it could be something great, or it could be something terrible if we do badly. So if we're thinking about ourselves, if we're focused on how we look, on what we're going to achieve or not achieve, instead of thinking about what our message is giving to the audience, what our information is providing for our audience, then we're focused incorrectly, and we're focused in a way that is going to increase our nerves instead of decrease our nerves. Now, for me, I know that I don't get as nervous as I used to in general. The times I get most nervous are when I'm competing in Toastmaster contests because I'm competing against other people to a degree, and I'm worried about what the judges think of me, and I'm worried about winning that all important trophy. And the more I worry about that, the more I have my mind on the wrong things, the more nervous I get. And so I've had to work really hard over the years, and I'm still working on it in focusing not on winning, but focusing on having such a great message, such an important message, that I can focus on giving that message to the audience. And I'll find out a little bit more about that and how I'm doing and progressing in that particular venue this coming Saturday at an area contest. We'll see if I can actually give the audience something of importance. And here's something else to think about. Nerves aren't necessarily bad. Nerves can help you. Nerves give you energy. Nerves can boost you up when you are speaking if you don't let them take over. So don't look at nervousness as an enemy. Don't look at it as a bad thing. All you've got to do is harness it so that you can channel the energy out into your presentation and give that nervous energy out to your audience along with your message. So nervousness isn't necessarily bad. It's too much nervousness, and it's too much nervousness about yourself. Too much concern about yourself. So there you go. That's my take on nerves. I'm sure there's other things I could say, but that's what I'm thinking about this morning. To me, those are the most important things you can do. Remember, be prepared. Think about what you're giving the audience. And don't worry so much about the consequences to yourself. And you'll be able to handle your nerves much more effectively. Go out there and speak anyway, and make sure every day you are living your win anyway life. We'll see you all tomorrow.